Welcome to Nosing Around with Mandy and Tony.
Tony, we've got an exciting show today.
Yes,
We're
we
going
do.
to go out and buy a house.
I've always wanted to buy a house on the ocean front. This will be cool.
I'm telling you what, we're going to meet with Deanne Watts with Margaret Rudd and Associates to start off with. She's going to give us a few pointers on, how to go about looking for a house.
Starting
the
the
right
process.
one. And then we've got a guy that you
Friends
know
with.
real
Yeah,
well.
Bill White, who is with Brand Mortgage down in Myrtle Beach. He's a friend of mine and also a member of our chamber. Bill's going to be here to talk about the process of mortgages, and Bill has some unique things that he offers too that we'll be talking about from a mortgage standpoint.
That's great. So after we find a house and get qualified for it, then we're going to move on to national property inspections and get that house inspected so that we know we're moving into a good quality built house. So we'll be right back.
Stay with us.
So we're here today with Margaret Rudd and Associates in Holden Beach with Deanne Watts. As you know, the theme of today's show is trying to buy a home. So welcome, Deanne. We appreciate you doing this today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Margaret Rudd and Associates. I know this is the office here in Holden Beach, but you have several locations throughout the county.
We do. We actually have 4 offices total. The original office opened in 1981 in Southport, right across from Dosher Hospital. Our second office is in Oak Island. It not only houses a sales department, but a very large rental department as well. There's a third location, which is in Southport as well, closer to the waterfront. And then the location here in Holden Beach, located on the Causeway, is our fourth location. So you can see over the past 32 years, Margaret Rudd and Associates has definitely grown and flourished. And actually, we're proud to say that we were third in the county for 2013 sales volume.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's great.
And how many is on staff for the entire group, or as far as sales agents?
Sales agents is roughly about 25 total. There
And you
are
have
4 of us here.
4.
And you're the broker in charge for the Holden Beach location.
Yes, for the Holden Beach location. Yes, ma'am.
Now,
And-
this location is strictly sales, or do you have a rental piece to your business here?
The location here is strictly sales.
That's what I thought. Okay.
And y'all been here for 5 years.
In Holden Beach for 5 years.
Okay. Well, if we are a home buyer, tell us some secrets that we might want to. What do you look for when you are just buying a new home or even a second home? Or
Sure. First thing is pre-qualification. Go to a lender, get pre-qualified. That way you have a very clear picture of what you're financially able to invest in a property, whether it's your permanent home or whether it's a second home. Always a good place to start so you know your limits.
Right.
Second thing would be hire a realtor. This is our business. We know it. We have those networking connections of the professions that you may need, whether it's surveyors or home inspectors, pest control, lenders, attorneys. So we're here to be that advocate for you and to make sure that buyers have all that information they need, and sellers as well, to make those educated decisions throughout the real estate process. The third thing I would say is make the list. All of your needs, your wants, make that list so you can kind of reflect back and narrow it down. And begin your search. MargaretRudd.com is a great place to start your search on the internet. Very user-friendly site. You're actually able to set up an account and save your searches. Even go in and make notes on properties that you may be thinking about. And some different aspects that you like, an easy reference for you and the agent as well on there.
Now, today's market too, one of the important things that I think that is very important to find a realtor to work with is the amount of paperwork that goes into closing a sale this day and time. I know back in 1987 when I first got my feet wet in the real estate market, we had a 2-sided contract,
Right.
and even your FHA and your HUD type appraisals and paperwork was very minor compared to what you have to go through the mounds of paperwork, and it's important to have somebody that is trained to do those things right.
Most definitely. The process can be very lengthy. The Real Estate Commission and laws themselves want to make sure that everybody is informed. So a lot of times throughout the paperwork, you may see things 2 or 3 times, but it's to make sure that everybody knows all the information, that you know who's representing you, that how you're represented, and that you have all the material facts on a piece of property. It's not just going in and, I love this living room, I love this kitchen, sign me up.
Yeah.
It's how old's the roof? What kind of plumbing is there? What kind of updates have there been done? All these things are facts you need to know so you can make that educated decision. And forms, they get longer. They'll change them by a little bit. But, you're looking at contracts that are, average 8, 11 pages.
Just
but
for
there
the real
again,
estate contract.
for real estate contracts. But there again, it's for protection of sellers and buyers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been in the realty business?
I've been a real estate broker almost 8 years. Before that, I was actually a real estate paralegal. So I've definitely been from the beginning to the very end of the process.
Well, that's a great thing to know
Yeah.
about you, because that way you know how to look at that contract and look at those HUD statements and all of those other documents and explain them to your clients. Very important piece of the application or the sales process. I used to always tell, matter of fact, I managed their real estate office in Virginia just as a sales manager. I tell my sales folks, the work begins when the contract's signed.
Most definitely. All your bases need to be covered.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for.
So now you're the broker in charge here at Margaret Rudd and Associates. You've been with them for 5 years since they opened this office, right?
Right.
Who are your other agents in this office?
We have 4 agents total myself. We have Joyce Sheldon, who is a broker, Mark
Right.
Revels, and Tina Cox.
Speaking of Joyce, I just met her this week. She's put a house on the market in my neighborhood in
Oh, very
Calabash.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joyce
She-
has many years' experience. She's a great agent for
Yeah.
us.
Speaking of that, that's way over there in Calabash. How far is your reach as far as from the Holden Beach office? I know you cover Holden Beach and surrounding areas, but obviously Calabash is 30, 45 minutes down on the southeast end. What is your reach as far as within the county?
Well, we cover the whole county. Our office definitely hits from Bolivia all the way to the state line, and inland up into Ash. But Margaret Rudd and Associates, definitely with our office locations, can definitely reach out across the county and make sure, even if it's Oak Island that I may not be total knowledgeable about, I can easily connect with another agent to get help for that buyer or seller.
So Deanne, talk to us a little bit about the market. I know we had a big crash, several years ago, but things are starting to turn around now, aren't they?
They are definitely starting to turn around. We're starting to see values sort of come to that realistic and even sort of level where before we were up and down, up and down. Right now, we're at about a 10-month supply of inventory. About a year ago, we were 15 plus months inventory. A healthy market, to give you an idea, is actually about 6 months. And that decrease we've seen for 2 reasons. One is sellers. We were seeing sellers who felt the stress of having to sell for financial reasons. That's no longer the case. A lot of owners have made it over that hump. They're able to continue to own their properties. So
That's
those aren't
great.
coming on the market. We're also seeing buyers come in. Serious buyers who are making strong offers and are investing in property in Holden Beach. So both of those contribute to our market as a whole becoming healthier. We're very optimistic for 2014.
That's
And it's
great.
my understanding that the foreclosure market's kind of about the houses that had went into foreclosure and all, they're pretty much gone.
They're going out. I mean, there's still a few around, but
Very few.
very few.
That's good.
Well, if somebody wanted to buy a house and they wanted to get in touch with you, tell us how we can get in touch with you.
The office phone number here is 842-1477. My cell number is, of course, 910-622-1184. MargaretRudd.com is always a great place to find all of our contact information as well.
That's
And
great.
this office location is, what's the physical address?
Physical
for people
address
looking
is
for you?
3270 Holden Beach Road, which is actually the causeway before you get over the bridge.
Stay with us and we'll be right back.
and we're back. Now we're going to talk with Bill White with Brand Mortgage. We're going to take Deanne's advice and go get pre-qualified for that loan now. So
Welcome aboard, Bill. Glad to have you with us.
welcome.
Thank you, nice to be here.
So, Bill, a couple of quick questions for you. How long have you been in this business of mortgage brokering or mortgages?
I've been a mortgage banker for the last 15 years. I've been with Brand Bank since last July. It's the best bank. We're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. We do have mortgages offices, abundance in South Carolina, Columbia, Myrtle Beach, Charleston.
And now you've expanded. You're in the Myrtle Beach office, obviously, but you're expanding into Brunswick County.
As well as Brunswick County,
Yeah,
yes.
and doing loans up here. You and I have talked, we've known each other for almost a year now, and you do some unique things, I think, there at Brand Mortgage. You help folks with their credit, but also you can do loans like on things that a lot of other mortgages companies can't, like log homes per se.
Yes, we have a great self-employed borrower program where instead of using the tax returns, we can use 24-month bank statements for self-employed people. We have a fantastic construction perm program. We also can lend on lots that have already been developed.
Now, construction perm, that means you start out with a construction loan and then you convert it for them to a permanent
With a one-time
mortgage.
close, yes.
Once-
And we also have numerous products to give grants back to community servants, teachers, firefighters, police, as well as veterans.
That's very good.
Yeah. How many people are in your office?
We have 4 people at this point.
Okay.
And our main base is Columbia, where our processing and underwriting are all done.
Okay. How long does it usually take to go through the mortgage process?
We're on a 15-day cycle, workday cycle, and depending on the customer, we can generally achieve that.
Great.
Unless he's working with me, and then it takes us forever, doesn't it,
You,
Bill?
you never see the bumps.
Tell us about this credit repair service.
Right now, we can advise a client on how to increase their scores a couple points to qualify for either a better rate or just to qualify for the loan period. So we're more than happy to help them out and advise them. We're not true credit repair people, but we can advise with a little bit of knowledge and help
And you
them
get
get
a
through the
pretty-
process.
Pretty detailed credit report when
Yes.
you get it, so.
Yes.
That really helps a lot. It's not like going to freecreditreport.com and
No.
getting the number
No.
correct.
Well, great. So you say you're expanding into Brunswick County. Do you think you'll build an office here or?
That's in the plans right now. So hopefully we can find the right talent and move up here slowly but surely
We look
and
forward
help
to
the people
having
of Brunswick
that.
County.
Great.
Interest rates right now, what are you seeing in the market as far as interest rates for folks?
Interest rates are still in the low 4s. Some people say they should continue to come back down a little bit, and hopefully that's the case. But they've been basically flat for the last couple months.
Okay, and I'm sure business is good. If, based on our conversations with realtors, Deanne was telling us that they went from having a 15-month inventory to about 6 months now. So that means if people are buying, you're making loans.
Yeah, we've seen a 13% increase in business over the last 6 months in the Myrtle Beach MSA/Brunswick County. And we are rated to be above Denver, Colorado as far as growth goes. We're one of the top growing markets
Wow.
of this MSA in the country at this point.
That's great to hear.
Now, what other things, once I come to you, Bill, and we sit down, we go through my application, we get me pre-qualified, I go back to Deanne Watson, I find me a house or whoever my realtor is, and then that's when the work really begins, all the paperwork and all. What's the next steps that I need to do as a consumer coming to you to move forward with my loan?
You would need to get me a wheelbarrow load of paperwork at this point. Basically, the last 2 of everything, last 2 pay stubs, bank statements, and tax returns. And please don't go out and buy a truckload of furniture during the process. Just protect your credit and your assets.
Right.
And as well, you need to have your inspections done to make sure that you're moving into the correct property.
Okay, and you say inspections like,
Home inspections, pest inspections, Susan Jufrey from NPI does a lot of the inspections in this area for us.
Right, and Susan's going to actually be our next guest on the show today. Susan and Jim Jufrey of National Property Inspections will be next, so they're going to give us a little more details about what they do as they come on board to talk about property inspections, and they got some pretty unique things that they offer too that sets them apart, just like you're set apart from your competition by a lot of the things that you offer.
Yes, they're a great partner.
So Bill, let's go back. You mentioned there when we were talking about different services you offered, you said grants for people that are public service, educators. Can you explain a little bit more how that works?
Sure. For every dollar that the client puts towards the transaction, the federal government can match $4 or give it back towards down payment and/or closing cost. Now, there are stipulations that they have to meet 80% of the median income, but generally a household of 4 people is about $32,000 in this market.
Wow.
So, and then returning veterans, we can get up to $10,000
Now, when you say returning veterans, is that with their VA eligibility?
on top of the VA eligibility. So they can go into the transaction with 100% financing and then use this grant for the total closing costs.
And that's $4 matched to 1. That's amazing.
Yes.
That is amazing.
And we also have the state programs where we can do a $5,000 grant as well.
Wow. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. This coming to me right now, these are unusual things that I hadn't heard a whole lot about
Yes.
from anybody really, bankers, mortgage loan lenders either.
We have to be part of the community banking system, in which we are. So it comes out of the Federal Home Loan Bank system out of Atlanta, Georgia, which
Okay.
covers North and South Carolina.
And once again, folks, I'd like to tell you that Bill is with Brand Mortgage, and it's a part of Brand Bank. He does strictly mortgages, though. There's no bank at your location,
Correct.
just a mortgage originator.
Yes.
Could you tell folks where you're located at and a couple of different ways that they can get a hold of you, Bill?
Sure. We're located at 4702 Oleander Drive, Myrtle Beach, 29577. You can always call me directly at 843-602-8237.
What about an email address or a website?
Sure. My email address is bwhite@brandmortgage.com, and my website is bwhite.brandmortgage.com.
Good information today, Bill.
Yeah,
We
great.
appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
on the show
Thank
and
you so much for
sharing
having me.
this, especially some of the unique things that you know. You're a wealth of knowledge, and we thank you for that.
I really appreciated being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, Mandy, where are we going next?
We're going to National Property Inspections to Susan and Jim Jufrey.
So stay right with us. We'll be back with Susan and Jim.
We've gotten pre-qualified for our home, so now we're ready to buy our home. So the last step is to visit with National Property Inspections.
To get a home inspection,
yes,
right? That's
welcome,
good.
Jim. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, we're here with Jim Jufrey, and we'll meet with Susan, his wife, who are the dynamic duo of property inspections with National Property Inspections. Jim, would you like to tell us, we're standing here and we got tons of fun gadgets, and I know you guys set yourself apart from your competition or from other businesses with the tools you use. I know back in the day, a clipboard and a set of eyes was about all an inspector had to use, and you guys really have taken it to the next level with technology. Can you explain some of that to us?
Yeah, sure. I'm glad you brought that up because we do pride ourselves on the equipment that we have, and we want to be able to perform any inspection that comes across, especially commercial buildings and the homes down at the beach. Most of the homes down there, they usually have a 28-foot height requirement. So everything that I have, we could start off with the ladders here over here. I have an extension ladder, a little giant ladder that reaches 28 feet up in the air. And I also have this really nice, I wanted to show you real quick. This is called a telescoping ladder.
Wow.
And it opens up nice. This is for something that when you're inside a closet that has a lot of clothes in it and you can't open up an A-frame, this is an easy way to get up to the attic access.
That's cool.
And then it just closes down like this.
I want one of those for my house.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great tool. A lot of the homeowners, once they see that, they get excited and they want to get. Now they know they have a Christmas gift to get for their
Right.
husband. A lot of times, every inspector that we have 3 inspectors, carries around a code check book for a quick reference in case we come across something and we're not really sure. We have reference books inside the vans. Another thing that we have, all the inspectors have, is a moisture meter.
Very important.
Very
product.
important, right? And I took the time to just wet this a little bit to kind of show that once this reaches 20%, you can hear it starting to beep. You know, this is very important to have, especially in the area which we live in with all the crawl spaces, with a lot of the dampness and everything.
Sure.
It's a non-evasive type. A lot of the homeowners don't like when you're poking things into their wood and damaging it.
I
So
have seen those kind.
yeah, so this is really nice feature.
And will that, now let me ask you a quick question. Will that reach through walls and find leaks?
Yes, generally because a property inspection is a visual inspection, so generally when we see like a stain or something that's discolored, a little darker on the sheetrock, you put that on there and it's able to pick up the moisture. I just use the sponge for these purposes.
Right.
Here. We have the availability to print out a report on site if needed. We have I carry the Super Key, lockbox key. Brunswick County Association of Realtors, they all use a Super Key, electronic lock that holds the key on the front door.
Right.
And I think this is very important that we don't have to put the realtors out of, have to meet them there and put them
Take them away from their job?
yeah, away from their job. So it makes everything easier. If we're running ahead, we're running behind, it's easy, as long as we have the key, we gain access.
Tell us a little bit about the orange thing over there.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is a gas detector. They call it a sniffer. What happens is you turn it on, it takes a minute for it, and it starts beeping at a very slow rate.
Right.
And then if you go near something that has
Wow.
gas,
Wow.
it lets you know that you have
got
a gas leak. Yeah. All the inspectors, we have infrared thermometers, mainly used when we're checking the heating and cooling system
Okay.
and the water temperature at the sinks. This is another handy tool that we have that I don't know if a lot of inspectors do. This kind of sets us apart. We have a laptop computer that rolls around on a cart, and we're able to go from room to room entering all the information. And what this does is it allows us a quick turnaround time.
Very good. And I understand that's like by midnight of the day of the inspection typically?
Yes, well, we guarantee it within 24 hours, but typically it's by midnight the same day. So I think that's very important. We pride ourselves on that factor, and we've been getting a lot of good feedback from our clients.
So Jim, there's one other product that you have or tool that you use that's a camera system. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, like I told you before, we take pride in investing in the right tools, the proper tools to be able to do just about any inspection that comes across our way. In this case, I invested in a 30-foot aerial photography mast. It's got 6-foot sections, and they open up and they lock into place, and it goes up to 30 feet. And I'm using a high-powered zoom, 30 times zoom camera, which works. It works together. It links up with my smartphone. So as I hoist up the camera, I'm able to see everything that the camera sees from my smartphone. I'm able to zoom in, and I'm also able to take the picture from my smartphone.
Very cool, very cool.
Very neat.
Well, with that said, let's go inside and see Susan and talk a little bit with her about a new program you have called Recall Check.
Okay, good.
So we're here today with Susan and Jim Jeffrey, and now we're here to talk to Susan. You're
Hi.
going to tell us a little bit about your recall check.
Yes, yes. First, I'd like to introduce Pat. She's my administrative assistant in the office.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Sheridan. We do have, what sets us apart is Recall Check. And although Jim does a lot of great things during the inspection, after the inspection, he and our other 2 inspectors upload some information about your kitchen appliances, your water heater, your HVAC system. It goes into the national system, a federal government, and you will find out if there's any recalls through GE or any of the major appliances. And then you get a report. And the report is a recall check report. It'll have a grid that'll tell you about each appliance and if it has been recalled. It doesn't matter really if you do have a recall check or not. You're going to get a monthly newsletter from us explaining if anything has gone on for a recall check.
Susan, how do we go about getting in contact with you to purchase your services?
Oh, great. You can call 910-575-2171 or reach us through our website at www.nationalpropertyinspections.net.
Susan, we thank you and Jim both for being with us today. We look forward to having you on the show and getting this information out to folks so they know where they can find you guys at and all the services that you offer.
Thank you. Thank you so much for visiting. We really
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
letting us nose around.
Sure. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Well, Tony, that was a great show. I'm glad we're ready to go out and buy a house now.
Yep.
So you better get ready for your dream home.
Yeah, that's what I want, beachfront.
Yep. So we met with Deanne Watts of Margaret Rudd and Associates, Bill White with Brand Mortgage, and Susan and Jim Giuffre with National Property Inspections. So those right there are the first 3 steps to going out and buying a successful home. But speaking of home, you want to let the audience know our secret?
Yeah, we got a little secret. We are moving the chamber offices. We've currently been located for the last several years at 4948 Main Street there near Duffers. We are now going to Wall Street. We're going to be on 114 Wall Street in Shallotte, still in Shallotte. We'll be right near the town offices at the light right before you get to Purple Onion. You'll turn right and we're on the right.
We sound official now.
Yeah.
Wall Street.
I've always wanted to work on Wall Street and have a house on the beach.
Yeah, me too.
What else we got going on this month?
We've got several events going on this month. On Tuesday, March 18th, Tony will be hosting his member orientation. Now, this is not necessarily just geared towards new members. If you're old and want some refreshing and want to come in and see what all we have new going on with the chamber, we have lots of avenues that you can explore for you to be able to network your business.
I highly recommend that because our chamber master is ever changing.
Yes, it is. That's going to be, again, at Tuesday, March 18th at 8 a.m., and it includes breakfast, correct?
Right.
Great. And then on Wednesday, March 19th, the following day at Stars Grill Planet Fun, we are going to have our Power Hour. And this month, we're going to feature David Hutnick with Intercoastal Net Designs, and he'll be talking about Facebook ads and how you can advertise for $1. Also on Friday, March 21st, we're going to have our annual Chairman's Gala.
Right.
This is going to be at 101 Stone Chimney Place from 6 to 10. It's going to be boot, scoot, and boogie, so get your boots ready. On Thursday, March 27th, we have our Business After Hours, and this is 5 to 7:30, and this will be hosted at Neighbor Dodge.
Very good. So mark your calendars for all those events coming up, and be sure to stay with us and watch us regularly on Nosing Around with Mandy and Tony.
Chamber Highlight Set is provided by Summer Home Furniture, located on Express Drive in Shallotte. Stop by today to outfit your home in style. We are ATMC TV, Channel 3, and HD Channel 910, your community channel.